This year's NBA playoffs is by far one of the most unpredictable NBA playoffs that we probably have ever gotten and probably will ever get. And this is coming after a decade where I watched the Cleveland Cavaliers face off against the Golden State Warriors on 4 different occasions. I had to watch LeBron James in 9 out of the 10 last NBA Finals. Well, technically 11 if you're going to count this year. So it's kind of nice to see that we're getting a little bit of unpredictability in this year's NBA Finals. However, it's kind of unfortunate the way that it was handed to us on a platter. You see, it wasn't necessarily, and I'm not taking away anything from these two teams, but unfortunately, a myriad of superstar players went out due to a handful of various injuries. But on top of that, we actually got the opportunity to see some of the stars of tomorrow emerge in this year's playoffs. So what's going on, guys? Your boy Mike here. Real quick, before we get to the content, I gotta let you guys know we're giving away a next-gen console, either a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X, to a subscriber that turns on our notifications on this channel. We're gonna be announcing the giveaway winner on our community tab in the beginning of August, and we're running the same exact giveaway once Laced Up gets to 40,000 subscribers. All you have to do is subscribe and turn on our notifications for Laced Up in the description down below or in the pinned comments. This is also our second video of the day, so if you could smack that like button for the YouTube algorithm, that'd be very much appreciated, because I'm an absolute insomniac that doesn't get any sleep unless if you guys leave a like on my videos. Now that we got all of that out of the way, cue the intro. Mike Chuck 1212, what's going on, everybody? Like I was saying in the introduction, guys, I don't think we could have predicted a NBA Finals matchup like this. As a matter of fact, go to the comment section down below, and I'm hoping you guys will be honest with me here and let me know what your initial prediction was for this year's NBA Finals. And if you guys don't say Lakers versus Nets or Clippers versus Nets or Lakers versus Bucks, I'm gonna be a little bit skeptical about your take here. But I do think that although it's very unfortunate that we saw a myriad of injuries happen to the likes of Kyrie Irving, James Harden, Anthony Davis, and this is all off the top of my head, eventually Trae Young, and eventually, of course, Giannis Antetokounmpo, who wasn't even present in this game, I feel like it also provided us with a remarkable opportunity to see some of the stars of tomorrow really show off what they could do in high-pressure situations. And one of the players that I think is popping up to all of our heads the most is Trae Young. You see, a lot of us tend to forget that Trae Young is just 22 years old, and in his 3rd season with the Atlanta Hawks, he was able to lead them all the way to an Eastern Conference Finals. Now, of course, not all the credit should only be given solely to Trae Young. I would like to give a decent amount of the credit to the general manager of the Atlanta Hawks, Travis Schlenk. The way he constructed this roster is masterful. Of course, he got lucky in some instances. Hitting on John Collins was a phenomenal move, but I do believe hitting on late round draft picks typically has to do more with luck than anything else. But on top of that, drafting Kevin Huerter, trading for Clint Capella about a year ago. And by the way, I've mentioned that Clint Capella's influence has been definitely felt on Trae Young, because you could see that Trae Young has been starting to take elements from James Harden's game. But then on top of that, that's just last year. This year, the Atlanta Hawks weren't finished. They were able to sign Danilo Gallinari in the offseason to provide much needed shooting. They were able to trade for Lou Williams in the middle of the season. And ironically, they were able to snatch up a player that was about to sign with the Milwaukee Bucks and Bogdan Bogdanovic and add them to their own roster. The result being a phenomenal roster to run a 5-out offense surrounding Trae Young. And needless to say, it paid off tremendous dividends. Trae Young is now in a situation that Luka Doncic could only dream of, making it to the Eastern Conference Finals at only his age 22 season. Before we break into the Milwaukee Bucks officially winning the Eastern Conference Finals, I just wanted to give the Atlanta Hawks their due diligence. This gives me a very similar feeling to when the Golden State Warriors were eliminated in the 2013 NBA playoffs. You had a feeling that this was a young team that was still trying to get it together, but eventually their time was going to come after a couple more years and a couple of pieces falling the right way. And with each and every game, we've begun to see each and every player on the Atlanta Hawks begin to break out a little bit more. In this game in particular, I'm discussing Cam Reddish, who had a remarkable game, shooting 6 of 7 from 3, 7 of 12 from the field, and scoring 21 points to aid Bogdan Bogdanovic's 20 points, and Trae Young, who only had 14 points and only made 4 out of 17 of his shots. The nucleus and the core that is necessary for the Atlanta Hawks are there, and I have no doubt in my mind that within a few years from now, the East will run through the Atlanta Hawks. Now it's time for us to discuss the Milwaukee Bucks, a team that, I'm going to be honest, I said in the very beginning of the year, and I'll stand by my bad take, I said that Giannis Antetokounmpo made a horrible mistake signing a contract extension with the Milwaukee Bucks. The reason I said this was I felt like he was being too quick to give the rest of his career to the Milwaukee Bucks, and he needed to wait for them to prove themselves to him before signing on the dotted line. And obviously, I'm sure in hindsight, after I made that take, I figured that, hey, this is a man that probably had other priorities other than winning an NBA championship. If he stays in Milwaukee, he'll be considered as a Milwaukee legend. The Milwaukee Bucks will always be his team. But ultimately, I would have never thought that he would be the man that would represent the Eastern Conference in the NBA Finals. Giannis Antetokounmpo's gamble paid off fully, and it's really nice to see a small market team win, and I mean that wholeheartedly. What's even more exciting about this upcoming series versus the Phoenix Suns, which is yet another small market team, I would have never imagined the Phoenix Suns facing off against the Milwaukee Bucks in an NBA Finals, but here we are. What's exciting is these two teams match up remarkably well. You have the scoring of Devin Booker, the playmaking of Chris Paul, the interior force of DeAndre Ayton going up against the scoring of Chris Middleton, the defense of Drew Holiday, the defensive versatility of Giannis Antetokounmpo, in addition to Chris Middleton. And no matter what happens, this NBA Finals is going to define a legacy. Either Giannis Antetokounmpo is finally going to have a championship to go along with his MVPs and his Defensive Player of the Year awards. Chris Paul may finally capture that elusive championship that has been evading him his entire career. And what's even nicer is I feel like these two teams are perfectly balanced, and this should be a very long series. This isn't going to be one of those years where it's clear which team is going to win, like the many Golden State Warriors versus Cleveland Cavaliers NBA Finals of the past. So personally, I'm very excited. If you're a Milwaukee Bucks fan, I want to congratulate you. I know personally a lot of people that are at least part of my NFL community from my microphone channel. Tom Grossi, shout out to you, man. Shout out to everyone that lives in Milwaukee and finally got to see their team make it all the way to the NBA Finals. I'm personally really excited to see what happens between these two, because I think the Milwaukee Bucks might have a terrifying foe up ahead against them in the Phoenix Suns. I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.